Good evening. Welcome to my little cleanup video from the stream. I know we had some technical difficulties there, but we were doing our bias, which, if you guys don't know, the bias is very important for the equities trading, especially in the kinds of accounts that we do it in, which are paper trading accounts with no real life equity behind them. Okay. So that's very important for legal reasons that I say that. So the reason that I have to is because I can't control how you guys execute. If I had confidence that you could do it precisely, exactly the same way that I would do it, and you would do it yourself that way, basically, and you would not stray outside of the rules. You would not fudge it. You would not change it in any way, shape, or form. Then I would say that real equity is the thing. However, because I can't control those variables and I don't know you, I don't understand what's going on in your head in particular, I have to say, for legal reasons, that that these are for paper trading only. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. Let's mark these up. Let's finish up what we were doing with the live stream. So let's get into it. So I do believe that the last thing that we had to deal with was these PD rays. There we go. So we're gonna put that order block. Not in this one. Okay. So for the equities, if we look at our seasonals, we could see that we printed all of our lows already. Okay, so we have no lows left in the charts. They're all done. They're all gone. They're all spent. So we should not be expecting any more lows, and we do not really have any more room to retrace. So we'll take that order block right there, and we'll actually dig down to the 4 hour, which is something that we weren't able to do before. We could take these if we want. I guess this thing, do take that fair value gap. That looks good, and we can target these lows. I don't 100% expect these to get taken, especially not with how fast of a market we have coming up. I know I say that we have a fast market every, like, I say it all the time, but that's just because this particular market during November, it should be very, very one-sided. We shouldn't see a lot of lows printed if they're going to be printed at all. And yeah, well, this should be the last low. So we can see, we can dig down under here, I guess, take that liquidity if we really, really want to, but I don't see it as necessary. However, we're very close. Why not, you know? Why not? Anyway, actually, I do have a reason for why not. No, I do not have a reason for why not. Okay. No, I don't. Okay. So the reason that I originally said that there might be a reason for why not, I know. So the reason why not would have been because this comes down below the halfway point of this order block. Okay. Normally, when we leave an order block and then we come back to it, we what's the word? We don't violate more than the halfway level. So actually, no. The first time we can violate more than halfway, but after that, we should really, really be leaving that halfway level intact. Any high or any low that returns to an order block, or any high that returns to a bearish order block that passes the halfway level, that high is safe. Same thing for any low that passes through the halfway level of a bullish order block. That low becomes safe, right? Now, that's not a hard rule. That's not 100%, but it's a very, very powerful one, and it's very, what's the word? Usually, that's what happens, okay? So then the other thing that we're going to do, we're going to target this high. I don't know if we're going to get above this high. We can take this. Yeah, so we could take this, both of these highs. These can be our upper targets. I know before, actually, let me check the weekly. Okay. So we could, that's possible. Okay. Hmm. So before I expected us to just kind of run straight to this, and that's more or less what we've done. Uh, the only thing is that since CPI, we've been just kind of diddling here. So that's what I didn't like about that. Uh, even though we were bullish, even though we were very bullish, um, technically we weren't really bullish seasonally because we were diddling. We were doing kind of underwhelming things in everything. So so yeah, let's actually transpose this to the one that matters. Do this one. Okay. So we're going to take this order block. Inside this order block, we're going to take a fair value gap on the 4-hour. And that fair value gap is going to have these liquidity lows. There we go. And we're going to take these liquidity lows, okay? So these are my lower targets. I do expect us to be able to, can we? We might be able to get back down into here, but also remember we don't really have any lows left in the charts. So there's no more lows left in the seasonals. So um, it's basically a straight shot to the upside. So I don't know if we're going to be allowed to come back down here, but it is down here, and if it does come down here, then that's golden. So that would be golden for some paper opportunities, right? Not in real life, in paper, right? Because that's how we roll. Anyway, Nasdaq. Nasdaq's got the same thing going on. Very end of the month is going to be a seasonal high. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on the daily. Now Nasdaq may not actually print quite what we're expecting as far as fulfilling these highs goes. So let's keep an eye on Nasdaq. Let's stay away from it. Let's not mess with it because it can do what it wants, basically. And why do I say it can do what it wants? Well, let's take a look at that 4-hour price action. See what it's doing right there? Is that cool? Is that something you want to participate in? Like after, oh my gosh, this is like all this after hours and I guess Sunday evening pre-market type stuff. All that price action that's only really directional when it's really directional when it's really trying to get somewhere. Is that cool to see right now if we're bullish? Not so much. I don't like that. So maybe trying to run out the lows, possibly. On a 4-hour chart, though, I don't know. I don't see that being all that good. I don't see that being something that it would be interested in doing. However, we can still. What's that word? We can give it some things to monitor. So we'll take a look at this order block. And we'll actually do the wick on this one as well. It's not very clear, huh? So if we look at the 4-hour, that's the wick of the order block, right? Hmm. So maybe, just maybe, not that one. The rejection block, right? Yeah, we'll do the rejection block on this one. That's a sensible target, right? Yeah, that looks fine to me. So if it gets down into this rejection block and digs down, I expect it to kiss the order block, and I actually expect that order block to hold price, even though we have this. And actually, that's fine. The reason being that since the order block and this new week opening gap kind of overlap, it's good. It's a fine place for it. So we should capitalize this order block and fill in this new week opening gap at the same time, and yeah, that should be fine. Let's check YM. Oh, let's do this on the one that matters. Is this? So this is no longer relevant. Either is this. Either is this or this. And midweek, I actually expect this chart to turn around. I have a reason for it to turn around as well, but we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Go to our daily. Do this like this with the order block or R. Take the rejection block. There we are. I feel like I'm missing something. Only a save, right? So now we're going to check our Dow. Okay. That's fine. If we reduce this to 5. Oh, it's the same seasonals, huh? Okay. So Dow, we got the same thing going on. The low should be behind us. So we're gonna find the Dow. There we are. And we're gonna mark the Dow accordingly. Take all this shit off. Take all these things off. I apologize. Save it. Okay. We're gonna look on the weekly. It does have this high here. We can take this high. And if we take this high, what do we have? We have this order block right here. I expect this to 100% hold price back. I don't expect it to get past here. Why? Why am I so confident on that? Because, I don't know. It's kind of stupid for it to come up behind here. So, let's see where else. So the Dow is kind of advanced. The Dow is kind of far along. What is this? That looks like a place for the 4 hour. Let's use our special skills. No, not the 3 minute. I guess this one. We can also use this one. This was a prop block on the 5 hour. We'll stick with our 3 hour level on the Dow, and we'll just kind of stay posted. We'll just use this one for monitoring to see the types of price action that are generated, right? So obviously we're not going to get great targeting on this, and the reason we're not getting great targeting on this is because we don't know the PD array levels, so we're just not going to do this. Let's take a look at Dixie, right? Yes, Dixie. Okay. So the Dixie, I also don't know what to make of it. On one hand, it has all these seasonals. We could print a high. Dixie can print a high. Yes, very, very nice. So Dixie can move up and print a high, but I don't want to call anything here. And the reason that I don't want to do this in Dixie in particular is because this one, um, it's been doing its own thing for the whole time. It's just been charging down, and then it charges up, and then it charges down, and it's like just kind of what's that word? It's not really following anything that we would expect from it fundamentally, or um, no, I apologize. It is following the seasonal idea, and it's following the idea of the what's that word? Of the distribution that we saw from earlier on. However, at the same time, we have a lot of fundamental reasons for it to not be doing this at all. So, so I don't know. I'm not touching this one. I'm not calling this one. I'm not. Can I mark this one up? Let's see. Um, I can just generally mark it up. That's something we can do. I don't know. That. There you go. And here. Like that. So seasonally, apparently we're going up. Are we? Apparently we turn up at the end of the week. Do we? Let's go to daily and move this to, I don't know, 10. So we move that to 10. Take a look. These are still different, right? Yeah, these are still different. Come on. You can do it. Show me the charts. There you go. There you go, buddy. There you go. All right, so we should be turning down, I guess, more. I don't know. We have more downside. We can print a high mid-week, I guess, but mostly we just want to use this order block to drop down. So I guess we'll mark that. And as soon as we leave that, I will call it in progress. And we're just going to drop down into here and under here, potentially here. Right, so we're gonna get at least under here, okay? And maybe here, if we want to really extend ourselves, which I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on there. So yeah. Anyway, to our bonds. We'll just talk about the bonds. We won't actually do anything with them because um, something that what's the word? These bonds, they really should have either turned up or turned down, one way or the other, one thing or the other. So because they didn't really do that, I don't know. It feels like they've accepted that they consolidate, or it feels like they have accepted that they want to consolidate. So I guess we'll repaint this order block, and if it wants to break it, it'll break it. Then we'll have a bias on this, and if it doesn't want to break it, then nothing's gonna happen. So do All right, then here's our agriculture. Gonna be really lazy, just go through these because we already have them marked out, right? Um, you guys remember what happened with agriculture, right? Well, I don't know. Nobody cares about agriculture right here. Either they're too poor to care about agriculture, or it's 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 not really a good time all around. So, although I want to tap them for completion's sake and for completeness' sake, for people who are more, I guess, professional minded or something weird like that. Um, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, I guess look at them. Um, there, you can see them. This one's not doing so hot, but we also we saw that it might not do so hot. So there's that. We saw early warning signs, and so we're actually well, I'm actually thinking about taking it off the watch list. Uh, let's see what else. Oil, okay. So crude oil, I actually expect it to hold right here and start rocketing it off. So, order block right there. Is it inside that fair value gap on the weekly? Uh, maybe. If we go on the daily, we can see that we bottomed out. Past tense. Okay. So not only seasonally did we bottom out, but this is also usually when trends start to reverse in the oil. So do be advised that I guess we can move higher. That being said, actually weekly, yes, weekly. So this is not only a premium market, but it is a very, very powerful premium market, as we saw in the stream before we were so rudely interrupted. So our initial target, I'm guessing, is I still want to be conservative. I really do believe that we're going to get above here, but I will actually be conservative and hold to this right here. This is our immediate target. So once this is hit, we're going to be basically standing by, and we're going to be figuring out what else is going to do from there. Likely up, likely higher, likely there's no sideways going on, and there's no lower, and there's no, well, basically up only is what I'm expecting. But I do expect this to act like some sort of a fulcrum. So um, I guess keep your eyes peeled when we get up here. And what else did we miss? What did we miss? Okay, so the cryptocurrencies. Once more, these are supposed to be in a raging bull market. Okay. This 1 week chart, it actually looks really good. However, at the same time, I don't want to see this. I don't like this at all. So go on our daily. Yeah. So this is our daily price action. Does that look like a raging bull market to you? It looks like it's drifting upwards. It's obviously an uptrend. It's not. It could also be a bear flag, by the way. So, for those of you who don't know, a bear flag is literally this, except instead of rocketing off, it shoots down. So, the eye of the beholder, I guess. But basically, for a bear flag, one of the hallmarks is that it's just kind of drifting. It's just kind of doing a little bit of a thing. It's not really shooting off. Um, it's it's like a little. How should I put it? There's no real bullish impulses in the bull market that's being printed when we're doing a bear flag, because it's basically a retracement pattern. Um, it can also be a what's that word? It can also be a reversal pattern. So like when there's a bull market, there's two types of finishes to it. There's that capitulation finish where it just kind of shoots and shoots and shoots into it, and it looks kind of like this, and that's basically a final impulse on a trend. And then after that, it just kind of drops off. And then there's also this bear flag finish where it just kind of drifts, and then it drops off from there. We won't really know if this is a bear flag or if this is a what's that word? A consolidation, and we don't really have any way of knowing that until it breaks out one way or another, and it needs to do that very strongly. So that being said, we have our eyes on Solana, and we have our eyes on Bitcoin, and we have our eyes on Ethereum. However, we're not really touching them. The reason being, once again, we should have had a bullish breakout and just running, right? This is not what we were expecting, and this is not what we were actually demanding out of the price action. So. And there's our Solana, right? Okay. And then we have, no, those are all the markets. So you'll notice that I didn't mark up the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, and the Solana. So the reason is because the PDRAs and the ICT thing, and the ICT, what's that word? In his system, they only work when you have, well, when you have a bias or when you have an expectation that a bias should form. So I don't have that in any, excuse me, I don't have that in any of this crypto. So since I don't have that, I don't really have a basis for marking up these charts. Does that make sense? So without having that basis for marking up these charts, I just can't. I can't put any markings on them. So yeah, there you go. The crypto, which is one of the things that brings all the traffic to this channel, is I can't mark it up. I don't have an answer. I don't have any ideas on this. And to be honest, if anyone is telling you that they do, they're trying to, well, they're clickbaiting you and trying to lose you money. So don't believe in them. Don't fall for it. There's so many other ways to trade other than getting involved in these cryptocurrencies. Yeah, there's just so many other ways of getting involved in the market than cryptocurrencies that if you're trying to trade and you're not trying to actually use crypto as money, you don't need to be messing with them. So that being said, let's do the very last thing that we need to do for our weekly bias, and that is figure out when we are going to expect our high to form in the week. So I don't expect a low to form in a week. Excuse me. Thank you. We're going to do this. Say apply that filter. There we are. Alrighty then. So I don't expect a low to form this week. And the reason I don't expect that low to form this week is because we're very light, right? We're not that interested in forming lows, basically. So the expectation is that a big news event is going to form a high this week. So let's take a look at when that can happen. Looking at this, we don't have non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is next week. So everything that happens is going to be more or less set up for that, right? We could be waiting. Could we be waiting for that? Let me see. Let me take a look. It's possible. It's possible. We could be waiting for non-farm payroll to make this high. Okay. So like when you see that this high in the marketplace, and then we have um, it's a lower high. It's possible that we're gonna switch this up. That we're gonna have this high, and then we're gonna punch out have a higher high. That will show a sign of very heavy distribution, right? Like they're gonna want to, and we're only going to want to see that in one index. Um, since we have this um, configuration where we have the high and then we have the lower high. No, do we? No, we don't. Okay, so it's ambiguous. It doesn't know. So we don't know which one's going to form the high. Okay, we could have a non-farm payroll high. All right, so that clears it up. So we could form the high here, or we could form it next week. Okay, so let's see where we would want to form the high. We could be on a watch out. We could watch out for it Tuesday. Wednesday. And what I'm really doing is I'm looking for high impact news. Now, high impact news, um, if there's going to be a turning point in the marketplace, they kind of act like fulcrums. Okay. Either they run out through liquidity and then they reverse, or they print um, some important higher low that gets work done in the marketplace. So that's why I'm looking at the high impact news. So 8:30 on Wednesday. Let's see, Thursday. We could have it Thursday, and we could also have it Friday. Now, usually, since we can have it really any day of the week except for Monday, we want to start being on the lookout of. We want to start being on the lookout on Tuesday. Okay, so if we see that our position is good, we're going to expect our turnaround on Tuesday. The reason being because 70% of the time, um, Tuesday is going to form the high of the week or the low of the week. So during a bullish week, it's going to form the low. During the bearish week, it's going to form the high. That is not a hard fast rule. In fact, there are a lot of things that can change that up. Usually positioning, usually order. What's that word? The needs of the market makers, and sometimes some needs to. What's that word? Sometimes some needs to. I don't know. I'll come up with it later. What you need to know is that 70% of the time, the Tuesday prints the high or the low of the week. So that means from Tuesday, especially if there's high impact news, we're going to look at the position, and we're going to want to see that Tuesday is trying to form some kind of power of three idea. Now, this week, we're going to really be expecting to see highs put into the marketplace. We're not really going to expect to see power of three come from the downside. However, we can still pull back. We can still pull back lower. Can we still pull back lower? Yes, we can still pull back lower and form some sort of power of three idea. Now, note I didn't say a power of three because it's not going to be a proper power of three. It's more just going to be kind of a pullback to manipulate and affect sentiment. And then once it's done its job, once it's done, it's just going to run. Okay? So just be on a lookout for that. That's going to be much, much shallower than a real power of three. But yeah, be on the lookout. So So there you have it. If you're going to take anything away from this, anything at all, just be on the lookout for a Tuesday reversal. And if it doesn't happen Tuesday, it's going to happen Wednesday. Could happen Thursday. Will it happen Friday? Possibly. Maybe. No. 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 It won't happen Friday. But it can happen Tuesday or Wednesday. Just looking on my calendar, that's much more probable. Can it happen tomorrow? No. No, it shouldn't happen tomorrow. Um, Tuesday or Wednesday. So anyway, equipped with that knowledge, now that I have imparted you with these ideas, thank you for your time and good night.